let's look at Crimson Desert. Some people in chat were mentioning this is not all that it may appear to be. If you were the one posting those comments, please repost those comments because I want to see what those are in chat. Because it was you. Okay, Mr. K, if you can put what you were saying before back in chat so I can see what it was. That would be awesome. We're gonna look at this. From what I've seen, people are generally very positive, but Mr. K is saying perhaps there's more to it than what we are seeing on screen. So we're gonna check it out and then we're gonna dig deep, I suppose. We're gonna get into it. Much better already. Oh. Dude. That's fishing. Remember that was one of the questions they asked Todd during that interview with Kind of Funny Games. They're like, is there space fishing? This looks outrageous. Oh, that's amazing. He's the Pied Piper. The rats are following him. Dude.
Monir Sacrain donated €5.99 through Super Chat. Do you
Thank
have
you.
any comment on or do you plan to watch the AC Mirage trailer here?
I have it pulled up, my friend. We will watch it, and then I will comment on it. Thank you, my friend, for the $5.99. It's also very generous. Again, you guys are being so generous today. Is it what I'm wearing? Or is it just because you guys see the flying spaghetti monster behind me climbing out of Hogwarts Castle? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Either way, thank you guys. You guys are wonderful. Hot air balloons? And you can climb trees. Oh, it's Assassin's Creed as well. Dude, what isn't this game? Pole vaulting, of course. Can you fly and glide? You can, because of course you can. And there's giant tree monsters. And Tears of the Kingdom. And boss fights. And raids. Just chucking the guy. And dragons. Bro. That this is one of those moments where I'm like, It almost looks too good to be true. You know, it's one of those. Shout out, play of the game right there. Sean Parker gifted 5 memberships to the community. That is ridiculous, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. And welcome everybody who got their memberships. Rocky got gifted his membership. Welcome back, Rocky. Welcome back, Rocky. You're a real person again. Welcome back. That's tremendous. Thank you so much, my friend. Sean, play the game right there. Looks like Tears of the King. Yeah, so I'm my position whenever a game is starting to look like, oh, is it too good to be true? Usually it is. Usually the hammer will drop somewhere else. Or shoe will drop. What is the saying? I don't know. I think it's hammer will drop. So a couple of things I noticed. One thing here in the grassy section, they're using like FSR or something to upscale the grass because everything else is super sharp. The grass looks like absolute shit. So I think that could be part of the way that they're achieving some improved performance and getting this running at 4K. And it just really comes out in full force in this section. So that is less than ideal. But in terms of like actual mechanics, I personally don't know how you fake this many varied combat systems, because like none of this is cinematics as far as I can tell. This is running in-game, in-engine, and maybe they like walk some of the graphic settings back, but I'm more interested in the core mechanics. Like the upscaled grass looks terrible, but everything else looks pretty good, and the core mechanics are what I'm interested in. And it just seems like this has a ridiculous number of mechanics all at the same time. So, and dude, look at that. Like, you can use hot air balloons. Presumably you can just explore all of that. That's pretty crazy. This game has been in development for a while. It looks like it, dude. Guys, this looks 50 times more than Black Desert. How are you even comparing them? It's not even the same engine. What is this running in? Is it a proprietary thing that they're using? Yeah, the trailer looks insane. It's like combining Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Assassin's Creed, GTA 5, Ultimate Fishing Simulator all into one game. Plus there are cats and even a tree beard. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, the main inspirations I'm seeing, Assassin's Creed for one, with the free climbing. So that's absolutely fair. It seems that they're trying to lean into maybe some Red Dead with the taming of the horses and the outside exploration. You can see some of the fringing and artifacting from the upscaling as well. So it seems like they're relying pretty heavily on that upscaling to hit 4K, which is fine. It only improves with time. But like numbers of people on screen, look at this. So you have all of these are controlled with their own respective AI. They're very simplistic, but you know, just little sheep. And then all of these humanoids walking around, giant, all this. Like, this is a lot happening on screen, actually, when you break it down. I don't know what the last game was where I had this many individual, like, living things all on screen at the same time. Like, that right there is, what, a dozen people? Even more over here. Like, you probably have 2-3 dozen people on screen right now. That's pretty crazy. It's running in Unity, pole vaulting in to a camp. I mean, this looks absolutely crazy. And then to see that you can just leap with your horse off a cliff and then glide. And it's like a pretty cool raven feather flying animation. Like, that's pretty crazy. I don't know, just across the board, it looks wild. But as we've said before, often when games look too good to be true, it's because they are, in fact, too good to be true. And so usually there's something else that comes along that complicates it. Maybe it's that this is literally everything the game has to offer and there's just not much beyond this. And so after the first 2 hours, you realize, oh, I can skydive kind of like in Tears of the Kingdom, but there's not much else I can do. Honestly, it might not be a bad idea to go as a game developer and look at the trailers for some of the most anticipated games and be like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom offers skydiving. So the game comes out in like 2 years, but we're going to add that skydiving because we're sure that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be amazing. So we're going to make a system very similar to it and release later that year or the year following. and then they do it, and then this happens. We're like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom, amazing game, and this has stuff like that, you know. The concern might be that they're trying to do too much, because like you're saying, it seems like they're doing a little bit of everything, like every single big game from recent memory. And my question is, like, we've known about the Sky Islands in Tears of the Kingdom for a while, but my question is, like, did they really just go like, okay, well, we're just gonna do that, and they just looked at a bunch of games that are popular and decided, oh, we'll just do that? It's not to say it's gonna be bad, but I'm hoping that there's some really original stuff too, you know? I don't know, it just looks fake. Yeah, it's one of those moments where it's like, this looks too good to be true. And so if we're skeptical and it ends up being amazing and living up to this standard set in this trailer, we're going to be very excited because it will have lived up to the hype, right? Well, it'll live up to those expectations, and we will be all the more excited because we didn't expect it to. We were like, yeah, I'm willing to be convinced it will, but I'm not sure how you could pull this off. And then if it ends up being trash and it's just turns out they've kind of overpromised and under-delivered, then we don't have our hearts broken because we weren't relying on it or putting our faith in it. You know, reminds me of the day before somehow. I don't know why. The day before was weird though, because they were very, very coy about showing any actual gameplay systems beyond like very limited scope combat encounters with the same exact zombies copy and pasted over and over again with very basic shooting mechanics, and like that was it. This is like pretty complex animation sets, like destroyable environments. There's a lot of work that's been done in the lighting and in particle effects, and I mean, just getting the horse animations working like this is no small feat. So to see them just casually doing it for this trailer, like that little pivot that the horse just did there, I need you to understand, like, to do that, they had to move the joystick to the left as if they were going to turn to the left. So the horse starts to pivot its rear end around, but then the joystick moves back to the right to continue running this way. So then the horse starts kind of trotting sideways and then blends into that animation as it starts running forward again. Like, this is not easy to do. See a little sidestep, and then they move the joystick back to the right. So he stops turning and instead starts shifting to the right. But instead of just rotating to the right, it blends the animations together. And so it sidesteps and then turns more fully with the animations all blended together, like pretty perfectly as far as I can tell. This is not easy, like at all. And so to see them just casually doing it for this portion of the trailer is pretty cool. Like, they put that in there for those animation nuts that know how hard that is to do. That's the only reason this shot exists in this trailer. So I see this, and I see a lot of stuff that is not easy to just toss together. Furthermore, are they actually doing like muscle contractions like Red Dead did? It does kind of look like they are. In the leg, you see the muscle contracting as it runs. I don't think it's as detailed as Red Dead was. Maybe it's just an artifact of the video compression and I'm seeing things, but it does look like the actual muscle is contracting as it moves. So if it's fake, they did some crazy work to fake all of this. Honestly, I think it might be harder to fake it than to just get it working. So I don't know, but it looks very, very good. It looks very good. Yeah, it's pretty lush and verdant environment for a desert. Maybe the Crimson Desert is metaphorical. Oh yeah, like blood or something. People need to go Black Desert Online. They are very skillful devs. Yeah, Caleb and Corey, my buddies, they played a lot of Black Desert back in the day. I don't think I ever touched it, but they spoke highly of it. Oh, they definitely made this. I'm not saying it's CGI. I definitely think they made this, but I'm skeptical whether it'll be good in a package altogether. Oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. It's insane how all of these unknown Asian studios coming out of nowhere are more skilled than Naughty Dog, Rockstar, CDPR all combined. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. A lot of these studios are coming out and they're dropping crazy trailers that look wild. How they tie together into a single package is another beast entirely. Furthermore, a lot of these companies are showing a lot of potential, certainly, but a lot of them are showing that potential because they've gotten angel investments from like Tencent, and Tencent will throw money at you because they're made of money. However, they need a return on the investment, and usually that comes in the form of egregious monetization. And that's why you see so many of these very talented devs in China, Japan, wherever, going and producing games that have like gotcha systems in them, which is really, really frustrating because the game can be really good, but then it has this outrageous monetization scheme. So my hope is that maybe they did just get thrown hundreds of millions of dollars to produce this. I'm hoping it's not toxic in how they put it together. Pearl Abyss, yeah, they're a publicly traded company in, I'm assuming, the Korean stock exchange. I mean, they have a lot of stuff working. They've got Black Desert Mobile, Crimson Desert, Dookie Plan 8, which I think is also in development. Yeah, Exosuit MMO shooter. So it just looks like Black Desert probably blew up, has made them a bunch of money. 20 million players, 28 million downloaded copies. And so now they're trying to break into some other stuff. And frankly, it looks good. It looks good. So, I mean, in 5 years, we might be in a spot where the top developers in the world are not any of these like PlayStation or Xbox studios. They might be some of these new studios from the East that are just getting their feet under them, having gotten a ton of money and success from like mobile games and online gotcha games that just print money. And then they're able to pour money and huge budgets into these more single player focused games. The industry could change really, really quickly if you think about the sheer volume of cash that some of these companies can just throw at developing something insane like this. He took my thing.